The third generation starts today. My son starts classes at another Keller Williams office. I can't be more excited and proud. Now, and we'll talk about that today. I wish I had all day with your group. If you're from Georgia and you now live in Alabama and you don't get a Georgia license, you're missing the boat. And this is why. With virtual, I'm getting more people joining my market center from Utah, New York. With virtual now being a acceptable way, you can take listings all day long right here. Because if I can deliver through my body language what I'm going to do to sell your house, I don't have to be and they don't have to know where I'm at.
Right.
And in Florida, so I'm getting a Florida license. My wife's going to sell for 5.5, 6 hours from Destin, that 30A, right? She can deliver the message. Then I can have someone be a runner for me. Someone's going to input. I don't do any inputting. I never have, never will. I can have that conversation as well. If you want to drive a big business, you have to do what matters, and that is people. Little League's about to start back up. Every one of you should be sponsoring a Little League or at the Little League Park, whether you got kids in it or not. You've got to brand yourself. I hope I'm the only one on here that doesn't have a virtual background. Everybody should have a virtual background. You should be branding yourself. It's free right now.
Hey, Alia.
How are you? Thank you. You're the first person I get to see your face. So all y'all want to see me. Who is this guy from Georgia that's going to talk about his big why?
Oh, Rebecca, look at that.
Hey, Rebecca. Hey, thank y'all listen, we'll get started and whenever y'all are ready. I just want to thank y'all for your commitment and taking time to get on here. I don't take this lightly.
We appreciate you, Mike. And hey, when everything clears up, you are going to have to come here and spend a day with us.
I'll do whatever you want.
People need to see you in person.
All you got to do is you got to put me up and you got to let me play golf with somebody.
You can play golf with me. I don't know if that's
there you go.
Well,
So, Gerald, good morning. Dude, I appreciate you. I see you. Hey, I want to ask anybody on here, and I will tell you, I get goosebumps telling you this, that if you're not watching The Last Dance, you've missed probably the greatest lesson. I am 48 years old that I've ever had in my life, and I am a big personal growth. I fly across the country outside of KW for personal growth. And that's what I'm going to talk about today in the big why. It has been the most phenomenal training. I take notes from it. It's crazy. It has nothing to do with basketball. It has nothing to do with the NBA. It is life lessons of playing all in as being an entrepreneur. And that's what each and every one of you are as real estate. You're not in the housing business. I will change, hopefully, your thoughts when you leave here. You're in the people business. And Michael never asked anybody to do anything he wouldn't do, and he always wanted to deliver because he knew there were people watching him at all times. And that's what y'all got to do. You got to deliver. All right, Katie, let's get started. So, first of all, Mike Moulder, Atlanta, Georgia. Katie asked me to do a big why. For me, I'm going to just give you a little bit of background on myself, so I give a little credibility. I've been in business 16 years. I have been a team leader for 12. I was a mega agent as an individual my first year in the business. I did 42 deals, $8.9 million. I am a second generation realtor. My mom is 74. I say that because I say it proudly. She's down in Florida and Destin, the Panhandle. Her first year in the business, she did 20 million. She's still a 10, 15, $20 million producer every year. She's still rocking it. So with that, I launched at Keller Williams in 08 in Midtown and came, in 06. In 08, I became team leader. So what a time to get into real estate and be a team leader in 08, right? The market was crashing. So I went through that. So I'm going to tell you, I'm the guy that was belly up in 2010, sitting with a bankruptcy attorney. Yep. Attached to the stuff. And I learned quickly that it's just stuff. And as long as I have my family intact, I could go and attack the day. So fast forward 2020, here we are in a pandemic. And I've just chosen not to play in that. My wife runs our team with Moulder & Associates. She has done 5.2 million so far 2020. and it's just her and an assistant. And that'll come into play with our big why as a family. I want to tell you what drives me every day to do what I do. I came through the newspaper industry. I knock doors. So if you can knock doors, you can do anything. Hear me out. If you can knock doors, I did that for 5 years. Rain, sleet, snow, guns, you name it, I had it, right? And I did it. And so there's no fear. And what I realized was the greatest conversation that ever came to me is my buddy said, they're just people. Just have a conversation with them and they'll buy with you. Don't try to sell the product, just have conversations. So during this pandemic, I hope that you have reached out to your database and not worried about being a salesperson, but be a service person and built a relationship. So, because we're going to see this blow up, where it's going to go. We're going to see this. I watched Brian Buffini on a NAR, and he talked about this is kind of like NASCAR. Now, anybody can tell the truth. You watch NASCAR because you watch the crash. You're looking for the big one, right? There's always the big one. Well, this is what this market is, right? We were humming, and then boom, the big crash. And then what happens after a crash? Everybody goes in pit stop, they clean it up, and then it's a rolling start, slow. Then pace car gets off and they take off. This is what it's going to look like. It's what it's going to look like, and you got to be prepared for it. A little bit of history about me again. I'm still team leader. I'm the GAR director for Georgia. I serve on our local board as well, NAMAR. I was Realtor of the Year last year, management. None of that matters. All that is stuff because I do what I do. But the big why behind me is my 2 children. And I want to give them the most incredible life that they can possibly have without spoiling them. My son starts real estate school tonight, so I'm pretty excited to share that because I just signed him up, and it's in a KW that is not my office. So a 3rd-generation realtor. He understands what we do. I have a foundation called Mallory's Hope, and that's what we're going to talk about today and what fuels me and the energy that I bring out. My daughter's a 21-year brain tumor survivor, and if I get emotional, I apologize. So at 8 months in 1998, you had 2 young kids having a baby. My wife and I have been married 25 years next month. At 8 months, she was diagnosed with an astrocytoma on the brainstem. We knew something was wrong. We could tell it. You know, it wasn't your typical baby. She wasn't crawling, nothing. I can fast forward and tell you all this medical stuff. They said she'd never walk or talk on eat her own. She was on a feeding tube for 2 years, so we bought a minivan to put the food up in the bag and feed her through a feeding tube. And for some of you, I want you to start following me on Facebook. You'll see what drives me every day. So remember, I'm in the newspaper industry. My mom starts real estate in 97. My daughter's diagnosed in 98. I lost my dad in 2000. Why does all this matter? Because I understand death. I understand life. I lost my sister-in-law, tragically falling downstairs, hit her head, and I had to tell an 8-year-old and a 10-year-old, your mom was never coming home. And of course, my brother, I was about to lead a team meeting. So I'm gonna fast back to my daughter. The daughter, she was paralyzed left side. They said she'd never walk or talk or eat on her own. Fast forward, my daughter just graduated last week from the University of Georgia. My daughter she's been on ESPN, she's been on Fox 5, she's been in local papers, but is never, ever lived in our lives. We just go. So when Katie asked me your big why, I can wrap you around why I sold 42 homes my first year. Because insurance is $2,500 a month, 16 years ago. Yeah, I said that. $2,500 a month. That's a house payment, a very nice house payment. And what I told myself was, when I left the newspaper industry, matter of fact, I had a $2 million cap. Well, I thought it was important y'all knew where I came from. I had already exercised that, and it was gone. So it was time for me to jump into real estate. My mom and Rick Kale, one of my good buddies here in Atlanta, had left. In 99, he launched the first KW. So I jumped right into it in 04. And I had to go on to a COBRA plan, and that's why it was 2,500. I never wanted the government or anybody to tell me where to take my daughter. Children's Hospital, CHOA was phenomenal. Probably y'all probably have, I don't know your hospitals, but you might have people that even come over for CHOA here, Children's Healthcare, because they're just so phenomenal. And Mallory had an 8-hour surgery. It was 8 months. So 8 is our number. You'll hear me talk about that throughout. 8 is my number. Cal Ripken played for the Baltimore Orioles, and he was the Iron Man. And he played more consecutive games than anybody. So why does that matter? Well, my daughter said never, ever quit. And she just goes and goes and goes. And so she asked what my big why is, and that's it. And so when I sit down with people now, I can ask how much money you want to make. But truly, I ask what drives you. Michael Jordan, his was driven by championships, to play all in, to win. And he never asked his team to do something he wouldn't do. The question you ask yourself every day, that you're not in the housing business. You're absolutely in the people business. And you have to have a big why that's going to drive you every single day in goals. So here we are today. I told you my daughter just graduated. She cheered varsity. She's not your typical kid. She don't have friends like you would think. My son's 18 and one of the most pretty popular kid. But she's probably the most special person. And if everybody had a heart like her, she's changing the world one person at a time. My big why was to drive a foundation that I could help others who've gone through that. I told you about my dad early in my life, told you about my sister-in-law. My best friend in 9th grade did take his own life, but he did, if that makes sense. He through drugs. And my football jersey sits in his casket. So every day I get up, and first of all, I thank the Lord for getting up. Then I just say hello to the world, give me another day. It's to impact others. That's my one thing. My big why is to help others. So if I can make money right now or make money, I can give it away. And that is my one thing, to get up every day, because I have the ability. And then when you have these hospital workers or your waitress and waitresses who just lost it all, or these hairstylists that lost it all. Ladies, kid, get your hair done. They shut their operations down. Well, right now it's kind of like Christmas time in the Moulder household, because at Christmas we give away money. It's not to tell y'all what I do. I don't want anybody to know about it. I guess I'm sharing it with y'all, but it's to go help them now. So that's why I live in a big life and funding that why every day, so I can help others. And not to get religious, but it's biblical. If you can give back, you'll get it back. And I'm super blessed. I live a big life. I live on the lake. I live on Lake Lanier. I'm a big boater, jet skier, just have fun guy. I like fast cars. But again, it's back to real estate. It can fund you. Ladies and gentlemen, you won the lottery. And if you don't realize that, you're missing it. Because you can literally make as much money. I have an agent in my office who made $3 million last year. I'll repeat that, $3 million last year. His team. So some of you might not know who my OP is, but that's Andy Peters and Leslie Peters. You might have heard of them, might not. Why is that relevant? Because you're unlimited potential. I know for a fact y'all probably have a lottery. Y'all have a lottery in the state of Alabama? You don't have a lottery. Does anybody ever drive over the line to Georgia to play the lottery? Tell the truth. There's no judgment. You know, yes, you do.
Everybody does.
Yeah, don't lie. Look, it's like fireworks, right? We should drive to your state and to Alabama. I mean, we should drive to Alabama and Tennessee to buy fireworks. Well, then they probably figured out revenue, so let's make it legal here. One day they'll figure out revenue on the lottery, and y'all will get it. I mean, Florida has it. Georgia has it. You know, you're driving down the road and you see that it's at 300 million and you make that drive across the line, right? You're like, oh my God. And you start dreaming what it would look like if you had 3 million. And the first thing you say to yourself is, so a lot of us are not selfish. We go, what we could do with our family, who we'd impact. We're going to take care of ourselves, but we're going to who we're going to impact. Real estate is the first and the only non-regulated that you can make unlimited. Your loan officers are regulated. Your car industry is regulated. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all can still go and make as much as you want, literally. And it's not about the money. It's about people and how many closings you can do a month. And we're a 30, 60, 90-day business. How many closings you can have a month. So if you sat down with me and we had a big business conversation, I'd ask you how much money you want to make. That's where I start from and work my way back. You say, I want to make 6 figures in a year. That's always, everybody say yes. That's what you say. And I say, well, that's the wrong answer. I want to say 6 figures a month. Well, wow. Okay. Yeah. You got to dream big and think big. How many of you are in Bold Pivot? I can't see y'all.
Most everybody. I think almost everybody on here.
Yeah. I will do this for you. I'm just going to be bold. I get a little goosebumps. I wore my bold shirt for y'all, matter of fact, today, actually, because 10 years ago, it changed my life. I've taken bold 11 times. My wife has taken 11 times. It's like financial peace. You can't take it with your spouse. They don't understand what you're talking about when you're talking about your big why and what you're doing. So you take it together or have that communication. Well, Gary Keller, I'm in his mastermind, his top 200 mastermind, and he just blows my mind. And I've been, like I said, I've been with Keller for 16 years. Never left the company. I never think about other companies. I'm running my business. I mean, it's cheap to be with Keller. And honestly, my parents will tell you, anybody that opens their own brokerage will understand how cheap it is for E&O and insurance, for anything you need. It's a no-brainer. Quit worrying about the other companies and go do what you do best and drive a big business. But tomorrow in Bold Pivot, Gary's coming in as a special guest. That is like a treat. I mean, the guy gets it, and he's driving the industry. He's on Inman this morning. That right there pays for the admission. $100. It's you need to have a personal growth. I have a guy that I fly to San Diego every year that I'm not paid to the market center, that I go and pay for my own personal growth every year. I go to Tony Robbins. I go to Grant Cardone, Joe Judgment. I just go out there. I'm an Eric Thomas fan. I tell you, a lot of people that I follow to fuel the energy for me to go out and build massive attention around myself. That is the big why. The big why is to fuel the energy around me to live a big life. And so that my children, the legacy that I can live them. So I did tell you my daughter just graduated from the University of Georgia. She's not an academic student. She had no grades in high school. She had no grades at college. They just started the program 2 years ago. So Zell Miller there's a Zell that helps students. There's the Hope Scholarship that our lottery funds students. No such thing for my daughter. I paid regular tuition for her. My son, I paid regular tuition for him. But my one thing was to make sure that they had no debt, that I could fund that for them. They're my why. Remember, I'm telling you my why. They lived off campus, so I'm still paying for wonderful apartments that they haven't been in 2 months until July. Yep. Yeah. And you know, if you were on campus, you got reimbursed. Mine haven't. I don't care. It's not about that. I want to give them, and I told my son, you know what, if you don't want to go to college, no judgment, please. I'm going to give you $80,000. Yep, because I guaranteed you college, and we're going to do whatever. If you buy a house, whatever you do, you'll have that money. But that's it. You get 4 years from daddy. And after that, if you decide to stay 5 years, you own your own. Oh, and by the way, if you fail a class, you pay me back. I'm not putting up with that. It's like high school, these NTIs these kids get. I don't put up with that. I ask you to play all in, and he's had to watch the Michael Jordan series with me the whole time because I want him to fund his perfect life. It's not about the money. It's about helping others and impacting others. So those two guys, my daughter at 22, my son at 18, are my big why. And then I still have a beautiful wife, so don't get me wrong. I have a beautiful mom still with me. I don't want my mom going into a home. That's just telling you my personal opinions. It's okay. Please, no judgment. But I don't want, because those people there don't love my mother, not like I do. So I want to drive myself so that I can tell you where she goes or where she wants to do. She wants to live with me, fine. She wants to go stay in assisted living, fine. But where she wants to do. And I don't want her to ever feel like she's a me, because my mother is my hero. I'm getting that. If you watch my Facebook, you'll learn she is my hero. Single mom raised me. My dad was awesome, but it was me and her against the world. I'm an apartment kid. That's why housing, I kind of laugh at this whole housing gig. I lived in apartment styles in 8th grade all my life, and they're still my best friends. And I guess I learned at that age, I got to play all in. So I'm going to open it up for questions for anybody. Let's play along. I want somebody in there. I'm watching y'all's body language. Who's on here? Who's saying yes? Vicki, good to see you. Here's what y'all need to do. I know some of you are hiding behind there, and you're afraid where your house looks like, or you're afraid your dog's going to bark. You actually have an opportunity now, because this is the real world for everybody. They're sheltered in place still, or they're not back at their office. I'm sitting in my home. I guess you can tell I'm a sports fanatic. I got all kinds of stuff behind me. But I want it to be an open conversation and dialogue of how to grow a big business. And it starts with people. I don't know how many personal notes you've written during this pandemic, but if you haven't written one, you better start. 5 a day. Right now you're behind because we've been going for about 9 weeks. So you can do how many you've missed. Remember, it's a service. No more market centers. No more. It's a service center. Katie's there to help you. Katie called me one day, and I didn't care about Katie. She's like, kind of looked at me. I could hear in her voice. I said, I want to know about your kids. Because if I want to fuel you, I'll fuel with your kids. That's what makes people go, is their children. If you don't have children, you have pets, I'm sure. Right? And they're your kids. They fuel you. Or you want to help somebody else. That's your fuel, for sure. And you got to fuel your big life.
Vicki,
so
let's
let's
say something.
Go ahead. Go
How
ahead.
did you know I wanted to say something?
I love it. Well, you came up.
Girl.
I love it.
Because I was out, I'm sitting out getting my oil change on my car, but you made me show my face, because when you said you grew up in an apartment up until you were in the 8th grade, and my big why is to give back to people that live in project areas, to be able to help them to know that they can own a home. And because it happened with me, and that's what I want to be able to do. And it resonated so much with me when you said about the apartment, because that's where I grew up at. And it's a lot of people that are there now, and they don't think they can have anymore. And that's my big why, because I want to help them to know that they can have more. So you just do not know. Even as you were speaking, God was just dealing with me, and I can just scream, but I won't, because I'll probably scare some of these people off. But I'm telling you, Mike, I just want to tell you, thank you. And Katie, you are just bringing on some awesome people that are really speaking into my life. And I just want to tell you, thank you.
Well, Vicki, let me go a little deeper. I'm an LD student. What I mean by that, I went to 2 years of private school, okay? I had to. My mom got remarried. My mom was smart. She married very good every once in a while. And he sent me to private school for 2 years. And I graduated I had to go to summer school every year. There was no college for me. So the hustle is what I do and what I know. When I say the apartment life, I think everybody should have to live in that life, because it wasn't bad. I didn't know any different. Those kids are still my friends today. And through social media, I've been able to connect back with them. And that's what our goal is. Vicki, what changed my life was when I was selling real estate, I gave a 63-year-old lady the keys, and she started bawling, crying. I'm like, really? And it was a friend of mine's mom. She goes, Mike, I've never owned a house in my life. And I knew right then that if I impacted people, that I'd be able to change the world. And that's why I have a company called Impact. And the reason I do that, I was going to wear a hat. I did my hair for y'all. I'm still in Corona hair.
Looks good. Looks good.
Thank you. But it's to impact others. And when you do that, but Vicki, more importantly, you got to give them hope. Our foundation is called Mallory's Hope. And if you watch the Michael Jordan series, one of the last things that ended last night was hope. And that's all people ask for. They want to see hope. Not just living, but hope. When you said the oil change, just give, and that's what you're doing now, but just have conversations with people there. They're all people. They're no different than you and me. We all put our pants on. That's why I don't get into government. I don't get into politics. You'll never hear me talk. It's just crazy talk. You give people hope in your communities and around you. Your Facebook is your hope. I'm telling you, people, if you're in there and you're talking negative and you're talking politics, you are losing 50% of the people that love you. I don't care who you like. I don't want to get into all that, but I want y'all to friend me. My name is Michael Moulder. I have a younger son, is Michael Moulder. Watch my Facebook. It's nothing but positive energy. Those people call me to want to buy and sell real estate.
And honestly, guys, I want to say this is how Mike is in real life. Whether like I see you at regional events and we've struck up a friendship and we've had several conversations, but it's always positive energy. It family reunion, 30,000 people, he's going to walk right up to you. And like, that's why I'm like drawn to friendship with Mike, because it's always positive. And, you know, that's what Diana talks about at Coaching Skills Camp and in Bold, that energy is transferable. So that's why it's so important that it starts with us.
Yeah.
We're going to be drawn to y'all.
Education matters. I'm really proud of y'all who got into Bold. Take Bold every time. It's the same. You just look at it differently. Watch a movie. I'll tell you a great movie, and I got a little bit of time. Goldie Hawn, Wildcats. A lot of y'all probably around my age, watch the movie. And when the boys are running, they're all dirty. It's pouring down rain. In the next series, they're all clean and it's still raining. Listen, you see something different every time you watch it. So Bold is different every time. Yes, it could be the same video, same stuff. But when you think differently, you act differently. And who you hang out with matters. And Vicki, like you're doing, you have to get people to think differently. And if they're in that circumstance and they're all in that same circumstance, they don't have hope. You show them hope and get them out of that circumstance. I'll tell you one more thing, Vicki. My best friend is still my best friend. Me and Matt have been friends 42 years. My mom and his mom used to pass checks back and forth to pay the rent. Because back in the day, you know, you had a float for 3 to 5 days. See, some of us don't know that because everything's instant today. Yeah, that's broke. I didn't know the difference, though. I had a bicycle for Christmas, and that was all I got. So it fuels me, and not to say that my kids to live a different life than I did, because my life was freaking awesome. I just lived a great life, but I didn't know any different. I'm a roller skater, for some of you don't want to know. I roller skate all my life. My dad ran a roller skating rink. And what does that matter? Because I play all in. I was region and state champion. You might not know that either. I was Junior Olympics. So anything you see Mike Moulder do, yeah, I shared a little something with y'all wouldn't know, is to play all in, play to win. If you're hiring for your team, I'm sure some of y'all now are going to be laughing at what I say. You're going, command is struggle, or if y'all are going through DocuSign, you're going, oh, Lord, this stuff is crazy. I'm going to challenge you to find leverage in your life and keep doing what you do best. That's people, because people buy houses, okay? Leverage yourself. I did one listing in my life. I was the #1 listing agent 3 years in a row until I took into management, because I understood I wasn't good at that. Like if you watch a computer or if you watch me in spelling, look, I know what I'm not good at, but I know what I'm good at. So I hired great talent around the deficiencies, and then I thrive on what I can do best. Let's go with another question, because I can go all day long. Gerald,
Hey, Mike.
What's up, buddy? Thank you for taking the commitment today. I know you've been in a lot of classes. I know all of you have been through a lot of classes. I want to be real with y'all. I didn't want some I am no different than everybody on here. I just got a drive that's unbelievable. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. And I really appreciate that. I appreciate your story, everything that you've gone through. I think my struggle is doing what I do full time, and that's working with the National Guard. That's my full-time job. But, you know, and I just got into real estate. I've been with KW now since February, and I'm doing it part-time. But my heart is in it full-time because I just want to do so much of this. The more I learn, the more I want to do. So really, that's my issue, is just trying to balance. To make sure that I'm getting everything out of this that I put into it.
So, Gerald, I'm gonna tell you this. It's not an issue. It's an opportunity. You have an opportunity. Let me ask you this. So you're in the reserves. Did you serve before that? I mean, were you in? You were? What did you serve in,
Yes.
first of all?
In the Army.
Man, God bless you. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to live the freaking in this great country and do what I do. I thank you, bottom of my heart. So I'm going to talk with you for a minute. Let me have your attention for 1 minute. So your brothers and sisters are on the front line for us every day fighting. You have an opportunity now to go make a lot of money to help them. Maybe start a foundation, someone that's lost a limb, someone that's lost a loved one. You know, you got brothers out there that you probably know that have been on the front line, whether it be Kuwait, Afghanistan, that have served us. And so what my challenge to you is, find that passion. You don't have a problem. Because of what you do, you just got to figure out how your time works. We all have the same. See, they always say death and taxes are no, some of us taxes are different. We're all going to die, and we all have 24 hours in a day. It's what you do in that 24 hours. So if you do these 4 things every day, and I don't care where you're at and what you're doing, if you'll write 5 handwritten notes every day, if you'll put 5 people in your Met database, meet 5 people. I can tell by your personality, you're at the oil change shop, you're at the coffee shop, you're at I don't know where you're at, but you're meeting people and add them to your database. And then Gerald, I want you to talk to 5 people that you know that you love that are in your phone. If I pulled your contact list, and now I'm going to change it. I want you to write. I always say go visit 5 homes a day, just so you know the homes in your area. But if you can't do that, change that up. The handwritten note is the greatest thing you can do. But when you come from contribution, that's really what's going to fuel your fire. And when you help a fellow person, because I can tell, how long have you been in the military, by the way?
I did 13 years.
10 years.
I'm retired, disabled.
Okay, so see, I'm getting goosebumps because I went this way and I had no idea about your history. So why are you not, if you're a disabled veteran, why are you not starting something to help? And the money you make can fuel that. Because you know your brothers out there that are others, whether it be back injury, whether it be mental issues, you know this stuff to help them and put a foundation in part. And when you do that, it'll change your world and your thinking, but you have to fund it. You have to fund it. And so you got to tell yourself every month, how many closes I got to have, whether it be to make 50 grand, 10 grand. And then I'm going to have my nonprofit going to pay for these guys that have issues, right? And don't have family or have nobody. And you know what? It's like the man that walked on the shoreline and there's 1,000 starfish about to die and he throws one in. And the guy goes, why'd you do that? He goes, because I saved that one. You can make a difference in one person's life and continue to do that. You won't even think about that you haven't, that you're at that you're serving over here and it's taken away from your real estate. It's just going to be natural for you. Always look at things as opportunities, not in the way.
Well,
Go ahead.
Gerald, what he does now in the Guard is he's the one that coordinates the military funeral services. So what an honor. And this guy right here, you're totally right. He's going to play all in. And as soon as you start seeing it as an opportunity and everything working together, you're going to be on fire. So
I'm not a military guy. My grandfather served in World War II. I did not serve, so that's why I thank you. But I watched a movie called Finding Chase, Helping Chase. It was Chase. It was with Kevin Bacon. And he never left Chase's side. And I don't know if you've ever seen that movie. It's just phenomenal. From where he passed to the plane to even sitting at and it made my thinking of service people. It was completely different. And I tell anybody that served in the military, give back to the military, give back to your brothers and sisters, because some of them don't have that opportunity. Real estate can give you that opportunity to fund that. And that's what you need to be thinking about that, because I know that's where your heart and passion is. And and listen, and when they come out, they're going to buy and sell houses, right? Well, they're going to get their person, Gerald, to help them, right? That they know that he's helping. It works both ways. When you come from contribution, and that's what all this is about, you'll get it back. Man, I appreciate you serving and sharing that with us.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate you.
Hey, back at you, man. Back at you. And I'm an emotional guy. With the losses I've had in my family, y'all just see that. I'm a real, I get life pretty, yeah, I get it. Trust me.
Evelyn, were you going to say something?
Living her best life, though. That backyard is beautiful.
There we go. I was just going to say, there's so much truth to that. But one thing that I did during the quarantine during Easter, there was a wholesale florist that had tons of Easter lilies because the churches had canceled their orders. So they were willing to sell it to the public. So I went there and bought a truckload of Easter lilies, and then I delivered them to all my past clients. And it took me 3 days to do it. But just, you know, I felt like I was helping the wholesale person, and it just was great. And a lot of them came out to the door to see me, and they just really, really appreciated somebody just, you know, thinking of them. And that just was a real blessing to me. And already 2 of them have referred to other clients to me, you know, from my past, so to speak, you know, that just, you know, staying in touch with your folks. And the thing is, so many of them have become friends. And that's how it started, was a friend asked me to help them. And another thing that makes closings fun for me is I just go ahead and earmark in my head, you know, the portion of that's going to go to something. I never know what it is, but somehow God always puts something in front of me, you know. And with my last closing, I was able to fund a luncheon for Mercy House. So that was a, you know, that gave more to me than I gave to them. But that's what makes me excited about a closing or real estate, besides just, you know, I like to help somebody find what's right for them, or help them, you know, sell something that they need to sell. Because in a lot of instances, a lot of my business has come from my friends who's lost a parent. So in fact, I just had a listing meeting. Of course, it's not going to happen for a month or two because she's having a hard time going through the house. And, you know, I lost my mom too. I know what it's like to clean out a house. And we sat there for 2 hours, and I would say we discussed real estate maybe 30 minutes. The rest of it was just talking about what it is to lose a mom, and how to clean out a house, and what it feels like. And when we left, she said, I want to thank you, you know, for calling me. She says, well, I knew you wouldn't push me, and I knew you would give me the emotional support that I needed to sell this house. So that's what drives me.
Evelyn, thank you for sharing that. Yeah, it's, you know, when you come from contribution, that's all people want, right? And it's service. That's why I said service before market center. And listen, I'm going to go down a road too, and challenge all of you on here. Okay. You're with Keller Williams, right? I love you with Keller Williams. Y'all have an opportunity, and a phenomenal opportunity. Katie did not ask me to say this. They're probably going to yell at me for saying this. Y'all need to tell the story to others. You're holding back a story that people aren't getting the good stuff. And so when I talk about profit share, you shouldn't be doing anything but just sending people to Katie and say, hey, look, their company is it's a business opportunity for you and your family. And then she's going to do the heavy lifting for you. And they name you as a sponsor, and your market center thrives, you're going to get money, because Gary Keller gets 50% of the profits back. Excuse me. That's phenomenal. So Evelyn, Vicky, Gerald, y'all need to tell the good stuff to others. Encourage others to get in the business. Don't be afraid to get people, and then you go, oh, there's too many people in real estate. Nope. There's always enough for everybody. You just have to get your unfair share. Michael Jordan walked on when he started with the Bulls, he found out who the leader of the team was, and he went right after him to become the leader. He didn't talk it. He just went and did it. You got to be the leader in your community. If someone says, well, they own this market. No, they don't. They only own it because they're working it. You go work it. Go work the market. But help others. Help others. Like you said, you help. Zig Ziglar said, if you help enough people get what they want, you'll get what you want. And that's a true statement. And Evelyn, you come from contribution. That's why you got the leads. You didn't go because you go, oh, I want to sell your house. Now, in the back of your brain, come on, we want to help get the business, right? But we come from contribution. That naturally happens. That's why right now it's so important that you're doing that. It's to helping others get what they want. One more tip, lead gen. Don't give your business cards out, ladies and gentlemen. Vicki, if you gave your oil change, you gave your card to them and you walked away, shame on you. I don't know who you spoke to there, but you want to get their information because you made it a one-way street. And that lady or gentleman you gave the card to might go, I don't remember her. You're just another person there getting oil change. But if you knew them, you send them a card and say, thank y'all so much. You helped me and my family keep my car safe. It's a good life, Vicki. With a couple business cards in there, put them in your database. And then every month you follow up, they know who you are. Maybe throw them an extra tip when they leave. Right? There's service in your car that you can get you and your family safely. Think of it that way. Give them a little extra tip. When you have your local restaurant, ladies and gentlemen, give a big tip. And I'm talking 50, $100 right now. Right now. Impact. You're not worried about the reaction. Matter of fact, you don't want reaction. You do that enough, when you walk in that restaurant, you'll have front row seating because they know you're going to take care of them. And they're going to thank you because you're impacting them right now. And right now is the time. I call it Christmas. I told you all that at the beginning. Right now is Christmas. People right now are hurting more than ever. And June and July could show up big time. I know hair studios that have gone out of business. I know restaurant owners that are not opening back up, that their life savings are sunk into that. And I know some of you probably might not have had a closing. We're a 30, 60, 90-day business. Y'all got to get on it, and you got to want to win. When the awards come out every month, it's not about winning awards, but the byproduct of being on top, you're going to be on top. And you can shout it to the world. This is awesome. Thank you. I want y'all to look at my Facebook, and you'll never see anything about, you'll see things about, whether it be Red Day, whether it'll be about my kids, my wife, my family. Not about political, not about nothing like that. They don't pay my bills. I drive myself to help others and to live a big life. Someone else. I'll tell you a little story when I talk political. I've been the team leader 12 years, and they were making a city, and they came to me and said, Mike, you're an influential brokerage here. We have, by the way, when I started RKW, and this is why I said this about profit share, I started with 79 agents. I have almost 400 now. 400 agents. Profit share runs from 50 to 60,000. So think about that. In the good times. It didn't run that last month. The reason is people, I want to make a difference in other people's lives. But the city came to me and said, hey, or Norcross said, they're looking to be a city. Can you take a stance? We want to become Peachtree Corners. I said, absolutely not. I said, because some in Norcross of my agents want to say Norcross and some want to be Peachtree Corners, and I am not getting in the middle of that. No judgment, just not doing it. I don't get into that because everybody has a different opinion, and you will absolutely take away 50% of your business by telling people your opinion. I'm just giving y'all my opinion. And we want to help everybody. Everybody.
Rebecca, were you going to say something? No.
I love your smile there,
I was
Rebecca.
just agreeing that, you can alienate somebody really fast and it's kind of aggravating because you may give your opinion because they asked for it, and then all of a sudden they don't want to hear that. But I mean, that's the way life is.
It's a non-negotiable event in my office. If you talk politics or anything, it's not going to happen. Because let me give you a little scenario. Rebecca, play along with me. You list a house. You don't know them. You got it off of FSBO or expired, or you met them at the oil change place. Sorry, Vic, use this example. You meet them and you list their house. You're on Facebook and you're talking political, and then someone sees that. Well, you didn't know that friend is friends with that person you just listed, and they told them. And they think differently than you. You will be fired.
Yes.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Here's the deal, people. You want to affect the people in your life, And this whole thing was about your big why. I want to fund the perfect life. Adult money gives me freedom to impact others. Period. That's what money does. It gives you the freedom to impact others and impact your family and make a difference in the world. My biggest fuel is my nonprofit that we serve for Mallory's Hope, which is obviously in my daughter's name, to help other families that children are diagnosed with a brain tumor. My daughter's one of 3 in 1998 in the country that was on her brainstem. And I can tell y'all, if you want to know averages, we're not good. And the doctors have to tell us, but they played something they shouldn't play. And here she is today, doing her thing.
And hey, Mike, I saw on your Facebook where she said she was going to graduate from UGA before they ever had the program. Wasn't that a mission of hers?
It was on Fox 5. That is a live Fox 5. I'll send you the video. Everybody can watch. Yes. She said live 7 on 10. They didn't even have the program there. And it's a very independent program. Mallory lives off campus. She catches a city bus because she doesn't drive at 22 to catch the campus bus. Now, yes, I'm on heart medicine now because she scares me to death. But I have to, here's the deal. I've told Mount, there is no I can't in my family. I let her live her best life. They would, in cheerleading, put her as a stunt up top. And I would be paranoid, but I never, ever told my daughter she couldn't do anything. And I don't today. I don't. It's in the Lord's hands, not mine. And I want her to live her best life. That's what I do.
So Mike, what if somebody says, I don't know my big why?
You do. You haven't talked to yourself enough. We talk about asking your affirmations in the morning, right? And I told you all about personal growth. It took me a while till I had my children, but my mom was my big why. She's my hero, right? My brother's a big why for me. If my brother needed something, he'll have it. Write a check for him, pick him up. I mean, I saw my brother at Grady Hospital, one of our biggest hospitals, when the doctor walks in and says, your wife didn't make it. I can tell you, I've been there. And so losing my dad to cancer, stepmom to cancer, best friends, kids that I know. When somebody tells me they don't know the big why, they've just never been asked. When you sit down to me and talk about real estate, I could care less about real estate. Real estate is giving you the avenue to fuel your income. That's all real estate is. You love houses. No, you don't. You get tired of it. People get burned out of this business so fast because they think it's about houses. It is not. It's about helping others. And yeah, there's going to be sometimes you're going to leave a deal and go, thank God I never see that person again. Come on, don't lie. And then there's sometimes you're going to cry, and they balance themselves out. Michael Jordan and Isaiah Thomas do not speak to this day. The Pistons were the nastiest and dirtiest team in the world. He had to get through them to win championships. Sometimes you have to deal with people that you don't like, and that's okay. Your inner circle needs to be positive. You need to hang out with people that are positive. You hang out with negative people, and your energy is going to be negative, period. You are who you hang out with. Who you're in business with matters. And I can tell you this. I know this for a fact. Katie loves each and every one of you because she asked me, she's coming, Mike, and she calls me. She fuels me, and she doesn't even know it. She thinks I fuel her. She's one of my reasons I get up every morning. There's a couple people that I get to coach every day, and she's one of them. And I'm not easy on her either. Because if I was easy on her, she'd stay comfortable and wouldn't grow. I want her to stay uncomfortable. Because you stay uncomfortable, if you become stagnant, and no one wants to be a duck on a pond, you want to soar with the eagles. Don't be stagnant. That's uncomfortable. When I tell you I want you to have 8 listings a month, at the end of the day, I don't care what any of you do in this business, I want you to have 5 to 8 listings a month. Not closings, listings. You go out there and find that business, you will have the life you want. It's all about listings. The buyers will show up. And Gerald, you can leverage your life by listings. Buyers, you can't. 10 buyers, you're at the National Guard, you can't work with them. 10 listings, and everybody on here will help you. Your beautiful mug is out in the yard. Your advertising, your expense control, your profit is different in listings than it is for buyers. That's what your goal needs to be. 3 to 5 or 5 to 8 listings every single month. Come heck or high water.
When like on the shift call this morning, they said, wouldn't you rather be receiving multiple offers than one of many?
That's right. You're in control. I had a friend of mine who had a house that he was working with an agent in South Carolina. He goes, Mike, I was in second position. I had a backup offer. He goes, it expired. I said, well, there you go. It expired. And so they got another offer on the property, and it was better than his. He goes, well, I should have been in line. No, your offer expired.
Mm-hmm.
You guys got to look at your clients. Do not do this for the money. Do it to help your client, and you'll make the money. You'll make it buckets. It's MREA. It says it the first thing. It's not about the money. It's not. It's about the people. This pandemic has actually been I hate to even say this, because if you've had a loved one, you've lost a loved one, I apologize. But it's been a great thing for the real estate market because it's helped us understand what really is more important. And it's an 80-20 principle. You got to go and get your unfair share of the business. You got to find out what fuels you. And Gerald, I'm going to challenge you when we get off this call. A is get your listings. B, help your fellow brothers and sisters who are hurting, who need prosthetics, who need the mental institution. Whatever it may be, you need to help fund that. And it could be $1,000 this year, but you put a goal out there. If I could show you my wife's goal this year is $100,000 personal to her nonprofit. Ladies and gentlemen, you just went through COVID-19, and she's on her way of doing that. Yeah, don't put limits on yourselves. They're all opportunities. Fund those. Fund them big.
I love that, Mike.
My wife is living her best life. She's actually in Florida with her friend. That's her third battle with cancer. We don't know what any of us are going to wake up to, right? But I told her, I said, go and just enjoy yourselves and do whatever you want to do. No limits. And they have. Matter of fact, they're supposed to come back yesterday and they're still there. I don't care. So again, Gerald, she can do listings while she's in Florida. You can list houses in Georgia if you want to through the virtual world. I can go and list a house right now. Do you think I'm coming through on this call right now telling you authority that I can go and market a piece of property and sell it? Of course I am. It's what you got to do. You have your 210 rep on here?
Yes.
Alia. Alia. Is it Ali or Alia?
Alia.
Alia, I can't thank you for being on here. So Kelly Lakenda, I hate to do this to you, is my rep. I love her with all my heart. I don't know if you sent her a personal note or if you even know her, but her house caught on fire. She moved in with her friend during COVID-19. She was just on our local news. They did a video of her and her best friend, and it's got 10 million views. She's been my business partner with KW. I have a 210 home warranty on my personal house. I put my money where my mouth is. If I'm going to talk the talk, I'm going to walk the walk. And unfortunately, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to challenge her to beat you because I want her to be the best in the world. So I love 210 home warranty. Love it. Sue Ellen's one of my best friends. Matter of fact, her license is in my office. She's the VP of marketing for your company. And I know a lot of your owners of 210. I helped get them as affiliates for KW International.
That's awesome. Ollie, are you with us?
She's
She's
making lunch. It's okay.
She's wonderful. She's incredible. We love having Alia with us.
That's something y'all could give right now to your clients, right? A 210 home warranty it's just peace of mind. That's all it is. Peace of mind. I love it. What else? Somebody else. This is all questions, anything you want to ask. So let me ask you this. Who has their goals written down and they're following them every night, especially on Sunday nights, they're looking at their goals? Okay. There's your first problem.
Written down.
Okay.
I don't look at them every Sunday night. I need to. I'm going to fix something that goes in front of me where I sit at the office and something at home. And I'm about to rearrange some of my goals. So.
Well, I'm going to challenge you on that, Rebecca. Don't change. If you've written your goals, first of all, I'm going to challenge y'all this year, November, December, write your goals for 2021. And you can't change them. Like the goals did not change for me and my wife. I've shared with Katie. I'm a very transparent guy. I told her I want to be the first millionaire team leader. Now that's running through my real estate company. I'm a non-compete. I don't sell, but my wife she's a rock star. She's awesome. Our goals did not change. And I said, honey, your goals should change. She wrote over 700 personal notes to businesses, to people in her database. Had nothing to do with me. The goals we're not changing them. Y'all just got to do it in 9 months instead of 12 months. No excuses. Put a vision board out there. Miss Rebecca, what would you love to have? If I could give you anything right now, what would it be? Material. Come on, baby. Tell me something you love. Don't be afraid of that, guys. Don't be afraid of that. Don't be attached to it, but don't be afraid of it. Rebecca, I gave you $10 million. What would you do with it? Come on, darling. It is not that hard. $10 million.
No, it's not. Buy a house. I own a house, but I'm ready to do a different move and all that. Get my just graduated from college daughter a new car that I won't be worried about her, and not new, but new to her.
Rebecca, no judgment. You buy
Because the
whatever you want to buy.
16-year-old would get the used car that she's driving now, and somehow help my. I'm sorry.
I love it. No, it's okay,
20-year-old.
baby. Rebecca, I love it. You're good. This is what I wanted to see today.
My 20-year-old is a very high functioning autistic boy. But he's had a lot of issues since getting out of high school. And he's been at home. I would dare say December was the last time he walked out of the house to go somewhere. He is high anxiety, high everything. And, to build for him, the other two completely understand, at least to an extent they understand, that I've got to have everything for him, because I don't know what he's capable of, way more than what he's doing right now. But at 20 years old, he's got to go forth. But he's going to have help. And so it's going to be a lot of, have a house that he can have enough money for that house to be taken care of, for him to be taken care of. The other two just need a good start, and they'll be fine.
And you know what? Rebecca, thank you, first of all. And I don't ask anybody on here, who knew that story? I'm going to challenge each of you. I'm going to challenge each of everyone, know the people in you that love you, that y'all are working with every day. You need to know the stories, not just Katie know them. Rebecca, I appreciate you being honest and open and sharing that with me. You have 3 kids. Like I struggle because I have to treat Michael the same way I treat Mallory. And I treat Mallory the same way. I know it sounds, we have to, because I don't want him to think I treat her differently or better. No judgment on cars. You buy whatever you want. Mm-hmm. Go fund that life. Because here's Rebecca, and I don't want to make you cry, but when you're gone, that's what you need to think about.
Exactly.
How are they taken care of? And you need to set yourself up, whether it be through life insurance. I'm talking real now. I'm not going. I don't mess around with anybody. Life insurance to where he's taken care of, whether a trust fund, and you need to fuel that. You need your passion every morning needs to be getting up, and your big why, because I think I just learned it. And you gotta be hungry. Mm-hmm. And if anybody tells me age or anything, I'm gonna tell you, my mama's 74 years old and will do $20 million in volume this year. Do not give me excuses, because you can have excuses or results. It's your choice. Exactly. It's your choice. They put me on heart medicine because I obviously tell them I'm high energy. I drink a lot of coffee. So I told them, so my goal is to work on it myself, dropping the caffeine, exercising more, take some of the stress out, because I get excited. Rebecca, I can't thank you enough. And I'm going to follow you in this and on this journey because you're on a journey, right? That's all this is. It's a journey for you and your children.
Mhm.
And so that's where my brother's oldest, he's got the same thing. And I've opened many parks. Miracle Fields, I don't know if y'all have them there. I started the first one here in the state of Georgia. So I get it, what you're talking about at a high level. That's my goal, is to give kids an avenue, an opportunity. And so my challenge is like I challenged Gerald. Find something you can fund and help it. And then help hey, listen, putting the kid in a Volvo because we know it's safe, that's okay. No judgment. I'm not putting my son in a Ferrari or a Porsche to wrap around a tree. I'm going to tell all of y'all this. I want you to hear me loud and clear. Do y'all think a Ferrari is expensive? I got a Porsche, by the way, and I'm not afraid to tell y'all that. I used to be. Y'all think one's expensive?
Yes.
No, it's not. A Ferrari is not expensive. Call Bill Gates and ask him if it's expensive. Call Warren Buffett. Ask Gary Keller. Ladies and gentlemen, it's not about expense. It's about income. Buying your 16-year-old a car you want, or helping fund a place for your son, or giving him, is not about expense. It's about income. You got to go make more money. I mean, I hate life is about the money, but unfortunately it is. Life is not, it's not expense. They do not see that as expensive because to them it's like $1, right? Or Elon Musk, didn't they say he's going to be the first trillionaire? I mean, a Ferrari is not expensive to him. So change your thinking. That's all you got to do. And that was my dream car for years. It was on my vision board, and I had to do a certain amount of things. Katie knows I black belt. That's one of the top things you get a team. And I told myself, when I black belt, I'm going to buy it. I'm going to a dealership. I'm going to buy what I want. I also wanted my son watching that. I would say, son, if you want something bad enough, you go get it, go earn it. I'm 48 years old, and I've worked my butt off every day to get what I want. Nothing's been handed to me. Matter of fact, I am Michael Jordan because I haven't been given from the region to anybody. I work my butt off to get what I have. No one's given me anything. Matter of fact, I'm told no. I was told not to be a team leader. I was told not to get in this business. And I go back to the people. My father-in-law told me I was stupid when I got into real estate. I now put wheels and buy him cars on his truck. And he thanks me every day to give his daughter and his granddaughter and his grandson the life he never thought. Because he didn't know. And that's okay. He fueled my fire. Michael Jordan would make crap up about people to fuel his fire every night. What's fueling your fire? Miss Rebecca, you shared it today. And emotion's okay. That's what leaders do. I can tell you're a leader. Leaders get emotional. It's okay. I'm proud of you. I've gone over. I have no problem going. I've got nothing till 12, so we can talk all you want. I am an open book. I love cars. I love boats. I love travel. My thing now is, because I was supposed to be in Hawaii for 10 days celebrating my 25th wedding anniversary with my wife. We're not. I said, let's do this. Let's find the most expensive house in Florida and invite the whole family, because we couldn't hug each other. That's all I want to do, because life's about family. Nothing else matters. I told Katie that. It's about family. Because I will tell you this. No one loves you like your family. Your friends are going to come in and out of your life. But your family, they're family. Love them or hate them, they're your family. You can't pick or choose them. They're your family. You might have to keep them at bay every once in a while, but they're your family. And my mom was my hero. Losing my dad was tough. Don't get me wrong. Still tough to this day. But again, it was me and her against the world. They divorced when I was 4 years old. My dad was married a couple of times. My mom was married a couple of times. It's all good. But I moved all around. I didn't stay stable. If you asked me where I lived, or experienced my life, I told you where I lived at that time. That's why I got so many people on Facebook, because I lived. And my kids, I made a promise to myself they would never move, and I thought I was hindering them. They stayed in the same high school, same everything. Matter of fact, I moved out of district and I got an apartment in the district so my son could stay there to go to school, because he played sports. And I didn't want college NCAA problems. And then he turns out and gets an offer from Mississippi State and doesn't go. I could kill him, but that's all right.
It's opportunity. That's all.
He created. My son played here. My son played baseball. We played in New York, Florida. Some of you might know Brian Jordan. He's one of my best friends. He played for the Falcons, played for the Braves. We coached all over the place, okay? My son was one of the top athletes, had a D2 offer. When he was a junior in high school, he quit. Said, Dad, I'm done. What? I spent all this money. I said, okay, what next? He goes, I'm going to go play golf. I wouldn't let him pick a golf stick up because I thought it would change his swing. Yeah, he got Rookie of the Year his junior year. He lettered in golf, got an opportunity to go to Mississippi State, and chose to do nothing. Now his buddies are all done playing baseball. They go play golf, and he wears them out. See, I'm the dad. When we play ping pong, I'd beat him like a drum. And no, please no, I'd beat him, and he'd cry. I said, if you want to win, go play your mom. No offense, ladies. I just would. Now he plays. MLB guys play ping pong. That's their – even NBA, all of them play ping pong. That's their – Michael beat a lot of those guys because I know a lot of them. He's that good, ridiculously good, like wears me out. But I told him, I said, son, life is not going to be given to you. I want you to play all in with kindness.
Mm-hmm.
You know why Isaiah Thomas and Michael Jordan don't speak? One of the reasons? He walked off the court and didn't shake his hand. He'll never speak to him again. That's sportsmanship. Don't ever, you know what I'm saying? When someone leaves my office, I'm okay with it. They'll be back because I want to treat them with care while they're there. I am going to challenge. I want to leave here. Help others get what they want. I don't want to hear recruiting. Just give them a business off. If you ever need my help, I'm here because Katie's one of my favorite people in the whole world. I'm here to help her so that she funds that perfect life for them children of hers. I had a whole script and I went totally off of it. I just wanted to be real with y'all and just talk. So you know who I am. I'm no different than anybody else. I just play all in. I told my wife the Jordan story was the best thing that ever happened to me. And she was like, really? I go watch it.
Katie, can I say something?
Yes, ma'am.
You sure can.
Can I? My Zoom is somewhere. Hold on.
Now,
I show my face for a little. I look a mess.
We're all family.
Now say your name for me. Is it Shay Cole? Did I say it right? Shay Carol.
Carol. Yes.
How are you?
I'm great. I just want to say I thank you for going off script because this only confirms a lot of stuff that Katie has been saying. And when you're talking about your big why, my big why is my family, my husband, and my daughter. But when I first thought about it, just didn't feel right because I felt, well, I'm a wife and mother. They're supposed to be my why. You know, am I being selfish? Should I be thinking about something else? But with you saying about your wife and your children, it only confirmed that, okay, I'm thinking right, you know.
Miss Green, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Does your husband work?
He does.
Works hard, doesn't he?
He does.
Have you been a human growth developer all your life, or you worked all your life? That means you raised children. I have more respect for that than working.
No, I was actually an engineer. Then life hit me. Had a daughter. As Katie always said, I kind of.
Wait, hold on. Wait. What happened? You just skipped right on over that. You know, just.
I had a heart transplant 3.5 years ago.
This is awesome.
Just skip right over. She goes, I had a heart transplant.
Holy smokes. God bless you. How are you feeling?
Great. Wonderful.
So you have a reason to live. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you get it.
I feel like my why is not only my child, but my husband, because he gave up everything for me. He's never complained. He made me stop working, because his thing was he took those vows through sickness and health. And when I say he exceeded expectations, he really did. But he's always been my biggest cheerleader. And I just feel I owe him so much.
Well, okay, here we go. Get ready. Buckle up. What does he like to do? What kind of cars does he drive?
Well, right now he drives an Escalade, but he loves ATVs and he loves guns.
I'm a gun guy. I'm not afraid to tell anybody. I got Glocks. I got ARs. I got all that stuff.
That's him.
Yeah, she's good.
That's him.
Katie's going, Mike, oh my God. Listen, I'm a real guy. So here's what I'm going to challenge you. I'm going to challenge you right now between me and you and the people on here.
We're family.
I want you to find something he wants. I want you to go earn it. I want you to personally go buy it, whether it be the car of his dreams and he don't know anything about it, the gun of his dreams and he don't know anything about it, whatever it may be. And you show him, thank you. This wasn't about you, what you do for me. I just want to show you I love you. Thank you. That's all right. Me and my wife set dreams and goals and all the time. And I'll do things for her that, you know, just unexpected. I'm not a flowers guy. Sorry, ladies, because they die. I want something that she can. I want something. Look, if I can show you this letter right here, I wrote a letter to my wife. I mean, she's a rock star. She was #1 in the Southeast region in February. Ladies and gentlemen, I hinder her. She gets no opportunities with me because as a team leader, I have to keep her at arm's length from my office. My office is an hour away from my house. She gets no leads, nothing. She's never been on the ALC. My new OP said, you shouldn't be on the ALC. I said, I just never did that. And she rocks. I pay the bills. She funds my lifestyle, and it does not stink. So with that, I would tell you is find something that he wants. Say, honey, write down some wish goals. Like I told Miss Rebecca.
Oh, he hasn't hit any of his things he wants. I know.
He's not going to. He's not going to. I would just and just hint around it. Say, man, you like this F-150? You like this Escalade? Oh, honey, these new Rangers they have from Polaris 900. You like these things? Say, that would be, you know, just kind of hint around, see what he says. And then you set goals wrapped around that, whether it be Christmas, his birthday, anniversary, and let it show up. And say, my heart's huge for you, baby. And when you wake up every morning, you need to put a leg off the bed and say, hello. Hello to the world. Thank you, Lord, for giving me another day. Because you know what it's like. You know what it's like.
Yep.
When adversity hits you right in the face, look, the rest of the stuff, money and all that, doesn't matter. That's when I learned. So I'll tell you a little bit real quick, because y'all have given me this credit. So I was going belly up 2010. I bought this beautiful Rolex, Rookie of the Year, when I got into real estate. I had to hawk it to pay a house note. And it was the best thing that ever happened to me. And then my parents turned around and gave me $30,000 to keep paying my bills. Because when you take a zero off the end of your, and I paid them back, matter of fact. But when you take a zero off the end of your income, and the real estate market got crushed, I realized that cars, boats, none of that stuff matters to me anymore. Eating PBJs was the best thing that ever happened to my family. Beanie Weenies. A lot of y'all know what I'm talking about. Yeah, yeah. Vienna sausages. Come on, people. You know what I'm talking about. Katie, you too young for those things, but I've been there.
I know about Vienna sausages.
Yeah. It's real. It's real. And I just understood I quit being attached to things. All I want to do, as long as I got my family, and like Miss Green said, he loved her through thick and thin, and he made that commitment. Money didn't matter, and her health was all that mattered. So I'm going to challenge you that now. Wrap your goals around that. You went away from me. Wrap around your goals around something fun. Because then you set experiences around that. Like send them to I don't know, there's this gun range that's a lot of fun or whatever, or send him to an ATV off-road park, or, you know, if he wants that new Escalade, have it in the driveway with a bow in it, and y'all go take a trip to Miami, whatever you love to do. I don't know. But make it, it's about experiences. I'm just telling you, real estate guys, ladies and gentlemen, funds that. You can't tell me any other business. I don't care, lawyer, doctor, attorney, lender, you cannot make the money we make.
It's funny
Not by. Do I know?
He said Miami, that's his favorite team.
Say it one more time. I'm sorry.
It's funny that you said Miami because that's his favorite football team, Hurricanes.
Okay. Okay.
There you go.
You're helping me. See, I don't even know y'all. And so here's Miami. So you set up, find one of the Hurricane games if we get to play this year, and you do a special trip. Buy him 2 tickets, and do not buy him third in the 300 section. I want the top 10 rows. Life is about experiences. Y'all see that soccer ball up in that far right? That's my my wife on stage with Rod Stewart. Yes, and she was slapping his behind. I wasn't happy about that. But life's about experiences, ladies and gentlemen. If you're taking your kids to Disney, that's why I say it takes money to do these things. And you just got to work hard to do it. And you got to have competitors. I want everybody on here to hold each other accountable. Gerald, you call Rebecca, you call Ms. Green and say, what are you doing to live your best life? And I'm going to challenge you this month because I'm going to ask everybody on here, and I want to answer. If you knew you were going to be here next Friday, could you get me 3 listings? If you knew your life depended on it next Friday to get 3 listings, could you do it? If you can't tell yourself yes, then you need to look yourself in the mirror. Are you in the right business? Because when your life depends on it, you better go do it. And yes, you would. You'd knock doors. You'd call 4-7 owners. You'd call expired. You'd call your friends. You'd call me. You'd call anybody you could to get those 3 because your life depended on it because you love your family. Why are you not doing that today? It's the same difference. Because when you're broke, it's tough. And the world learned that. All these great companies like Ruth Chris and great steakhouses, they got great steaks. But if they have no people in there buying them, it don't make a darn what they got. Is that a true statement or not?
Yes.
It takes money. And I want y'all to make adult money. You know you all are driving to Georgia to buy the lottery ticket. Well, I could talk about. I want you to buy your own lottery ticket. You've already won it. You got your real estate license. Now go earn it. Call your FSBOs. Do open houses. I know COVID's got some challenges. Be the one in the community that sponsoring a baseball team, basketball team, baseball team, that buy the kids ice cream. My mama is 74 years old, will be on a float 4th of July throwing out beads that says Florida Dreams Properties. My mama will be in a helicopter dropping little plastic balls that has her logo on them. She might be crazy too. You see where I get my energy. But I'm telling y'all, I told my mom, I said, you can't retire. But here's what I'm going to tell you, Miss Rebecca, I'm going to tell you and anybody on here. I want you to work so hard that you're working by choice, not necessity. Profit share can change your life. My profit share is about $60,000 a year. I hope you heard me, between me and my wife. I've been building it over time. I had no idea it would blow up like this. And it might go away tomorrow. But that is what I buy real estate properties with. So when you go on your next listing, the thing you ask yourself first is, do I buy this house or do I sell this house? Because wealth is built in real estate. Plain and simple. Look at every millionaire in this country. Look at every one of them. No judgment of who they are and see what they own. If you think McDonald's is in the cheeseburger Big Mac business, you missed the boat. They're in the real estate business. The land it's on, and Lord, they're not building anymore. There's no more land. God only gave us what we have. Katie, what you think?
I think you did a great job. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you more. I'm going to challenge each of you. Go live your big why. But I'm going to ask you this. Find somebody else to go on that path with you. That we're not on this call in your market center. Say, hey, you missed this. I get it. There's been so much training you're trying to pick. You got Bold. You got Coach's Corner. You got International. You got all this stuff going on. But the guy we talked to today about living a big why, who sold a lot of real estate, that understands life, that was never given anything. I've earned everything. Michael Jordan was cut from his sophomore team. At his Hall of Fame speech, he invited the guy that made the team over him and said, thank you. You changed my life. And for that, I thank y'all for giving me the opportunity to talk to y'all.
Thank you, Mike.
I'm going to keep up with each and every one of you. Katie, if you'll tell me who got on here this morning, that'd be awesome.
I got you. All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Bye,
Y'all
guys.
go win the day.